Okay, this conversation, people usually tiptoe around this one, but today, oh yeah, we're going there.
Yeah. Pull up a chair, we gon' talk it through. Little bit of life, little breakthrough. From the crib to the headlines, heart on display. Everyday stories in a brand new way. This is the corner with Jay, where we pray, real talk, mama heart, big dreams on the way. Big, where we slide.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Corner with Jay. Today, let's talk about interracial dating, not from a social media debate perspective, not from a hot take perspective, but from real life. Because I think people still avoid a lot of honest conversations around this topic. And as a Black woman with two biracial children, these conversations became deeper than dating for me a long time ago. My second oldest son is half Black, half Filipino. My daughter is half white because her father is biracial. So, for me, this conversation isn't just about attraction, it's about identity, family, perception, and real life experiences. One thing I've noticed about interracial dating is how quickly people create assumptions about motives, about attraction, about identity, about intentions. People will ask, why are you dating outside your race? As if connection is always that simple. And honestly, sometimes people project their own insecurities, fears, or experiences onto relationships that have nothing to do with them. And another thing people don't talk about enough is how interracial relationships are perceived differently depending on who is in the relationship. Because let's be honest, society absolutely reacts differently based on race, gender, appearance, stereotypes. And people notice that, even if they pretend not to. And as a Black woman, I've seen how people sometimes view Black women differently when interracial dating is involved. Let's pause in this for a moment, and I can speak from experience. When I started dating my ex husband, we both caught a lot, and I mean a lot of backlash for it. We both lost some friends because of it. Um, I had family members who did not want to accept it or accept my child. Um, I had a guy, I was in a Facebook group, and something about children, we got on the subject somehow. And the moment I stated that I had married outside of my race, the way that that man demeaned, belittled, berated, um, accused me of not being black enough because of who I chose to love at that moment. Um, I think wholeheartedly that was I won't say the very first time in my life I experienced racism, but it was one of the worst experience I had because it was also affecting my kids. Um, but got through it, got past it, no regrets. But it's just revealing all of that to say, for some reason, and y'all can disagree with me, you can be mad at me. That's what this is for. Black women are shunned for dating outside of our race. But a black man is held up on a pedestal when he dates or marries outside of his race. But that's going to be a whole nother topic. So let's get back to this. When it comes to interracial dating, sometimes there's judgment, the assumptions. Sometimes people immediately think it's a fetish, self hate, status, rebellion, instead of simply seeing it as a connection between two people. And yes, sometimes it can be a fetish for some people to want to date outside of their race. And that's another uncomfortable conversation people avoid. Because let's be honest, there's a difference between genuine connection and being attracted to stereotypes, fantasies, or ideas about people. I'm going to say it. Sometimes people are dating a race instead of dating a person. Yeah, I said it, and I'm going to say it again. Sometimes people are dating a race instead of dating a person, aka fetish. And those are two very different things. But honestly, having biracial children added another layer to everything for me because now the conversations aren't just about relationships, they are about identity, belonging, representation, how children see themselves, how the world sees them. I'm going to interject here for a moment and speak about my daughter, my little mini me, my baby. Her dad is biracial, which in turn, she's biracial. So, as a whole, my daughter is half white, half black. I had someone once tell me that her black half cancels out her white half. So, in their eyes, she's a black child. The white part of her does not exist, right? And I'm not gonna lie, it pissed me off because that is a part of who she is. She cannot help her genetic makeup. Um, has she faced any challenges so far? A few, but nothing that I didn't prepare her for. I speak to my kids. I talk to my kids about the ways of the world, especially in this day and age. But she knows her identity. She knows who she is, as well as my son. He knows his identity. He knows who he is. So they don't have an identity complex, right? Um, but with my daughter, for someone to say that one part cancels out the other part more, maybe to you, but not to me, right? Um, it's weird. It's especially in this day and age. It's so weird. And then social media doesn't help because everyone's an expert on race, right? We're not going to go down that rabbit hole. But I'm saying all of this to say I'm one of those parents. I'm not blind. And I talk to my kids. I don't sugarcoat, I don't hide it. So both of my children who are biracial are fully aware of who they are on both spectrums, both parts of them as a whole and individually, and what they may look like outside in this world today. And I really think people underestimate how layered that can be for biracial children because sometimes they're made to feel too black in one space and not black enough in another. Sometimes people expect them to choose sides, and sometimes people question where they fit. And those questions are so much deeper than what most people see on the surface. And I also think interracial dating forces people to confront conversations they normally avoid about race, about bias, about family dynamics, cultural differences, and about assumptions we've all been conditioned to carry. And honestly, some people are uncomfortable with interracial relationships because it challenges the boxes they've mentally placed people in. But at the end of the day, real connection is a real connection. And I think people deserve to be loved fully without constantly feeling like their relationship has to be explained, defended, or analyzed by outsiders. Because let's keep it a buck. Every relationship has challenges. Every relationship requires communication. Every relationship requires emotional maturity. Interracial dating does not magically remove that. It doesn't automatically create it either. I think the biggest thing I've learned in this is people will always have opinions about relationships they're not living in, but the people inside the relationship, they're the ones dealing with the reality of it every day. Maybe we need more honest conversations without judgment, without stereotypes, without pretending these topics don't still affect people in real life. If this episode gave you something to think about or helped you look at things from a different perspective, sit with it for a minute and then come on over to Facebook and join the community, The Corner with Jay. Until next time, I'll see y'all in the next episode.